If you are afraid of talking about Guru, this is definitely for you. The material world, this whole world, is in some ways falling apart. That's what 2020 was, and in 2021 we're rebuilding and we're coming back. And what is that? That is the new earth. And it is so powerful and it is so incredible. So the rise of the sacred sovereign is about you being the hero on your timeline and you being on the greatest adventure of your life. At least that's what it is for me. It's you, but it's about relationship, and that's what Guru teaches us. Guru means heavy, means from dark to light. And last night we had the theme that we brought up that very much had to do with divinity. It had to do with calling out what is missing in this world, calling out what we need, which is devotion. And who am I to say that? I am nobody to say that, but I am someone who is showing up and following the saints to basically be a mirror. So we're going to give it another moment or two because we did not remind people. Actually, we need to text and remind people that we're live, but it's okay. I forgot to do that. So you know what? It can be a replay. The Rise of the Sacred Sovereign is about interplay of sharing ideas and topics that we want to talk about. And we had a huge experience today, probably the greatest experience of our lives, in recognizing truth. You say Guru is one, which is to say truth is one, which is to say love is one. What better time than everything falling apart in the world being so polarized? What better time is there to show up and express love and devotion? And I don't mean rainbows and unicorns. No, I mean the hard shiz. I mean showing up in radical vulnerability and honesty. Guru comes in the form of teacher when you need them, when I need them. And in the soul mapping matrix, in the work that I've been doing for many, many years with my clients, with my students, whether abroad or here, it doesn't change, which is to say, how Guru does not change, maybe in the form of who shows up, the teaching, the tattva, is the same. And the theme of tonight is actually, last night it was heaven and hell exist on the same timeline. That was the theme. And tonight I want to talk about the best advice I ever received. The best advice I ever received. And the hint is it was about 2020 and not effing up my chance for total success. How is it possible to be in this material world but not be of it? How is it possible to live a life and exist in a realm where money is God, where greed is not for bhakti, but it's for material living? That's the question. When I was 30 years old, I gave up my life. I shifted from moving towards becoming someone in Hollywood as an actor, as a party promoter, as a personality. And it's like everything fell apart for me so that the truth could be revealed. And what was the portal, or the portal that I couldn't see at the time, was that I was about to get everything I could ever want truly if I gave up everything I wanted materially. It's not that I wanted so much material. I always loved God. I always loved spirituality. I loved studying religions. That was my thing. And I just loved doing the work. But I loved showing up and doing the work without being seen. And what was revealed in that pain and suffering of life, of learning where my levels of tolerance were, my lack of humility, my lack of basic balance. Haribo, Raghava Prabhu, Hare Krishna. What happened at that time was that Guru, even though I didn't know who Guru was going to finish everything for me, little by little. Sometimes it's your relationships, sometimes it's your money, sometimes it could be your health. Guru comes and he finishes things so that the portal is there and we can see and we can shift. And that's what I did. I shifted from a life of being in pain and dealing with it to learning what pain was and who I was. Guru does that. So when everything was destroyed in my career, or maybe I destroyed it, I don't know, and the pain was so deep and the friendships and everything that I thought was real shifted, I was able to go to the next thing, which was being a teacher, which was yoga. Yoga saved me. Yoga saved me. And that's when my Guru showed up. I was studying a class, a book called the Jaiva Dharma, which is a conversation about the soul and about being in the world, but not of it, part of our theme. And I saw a picture of my Srila Gurudev, and I said, oh, there's my Gurudev. I didn't know this word guru. I didn't understand it. And all of a sudden, it never meant anything. My religiosity, it didn't matter what I had done or what I had achieved. I all of a sudden understood that there was surrender, that surrender was the beginning of the process, and that bliss was on the other side. Jai Gurudev. And my Guru showed up in a picture, and then he started giving instruction, and slowly he brought me more and more to the devotees. And it was the devotees, it was the relationships with devotees. That was the hint, the best advice I ever received. And I say it was about 2020 because I don't know about you, but this has been the hardest year ever. Kala and I showed up and we gave Kirtan, and we'll continue to do that. But little by little, we started losing sight, a little bit more and a little bit more. We started forgetting that the portal was in the everyday moments, the everyday, and that this house, in our case, the house we were about to buy because we were working on buying a house, and that the container around that with money and all the stuff, it kind of took over from our bhajan, from our spiritual practice. Now, this was not about not teaching anymore. You know, Guru had come in before 2020 for us, luckily, and finished things. He finished our yoga studio. He finished, you know, we say they finished. They come in and they just, soul sanctuary, yeah. They finished the space, the housing for sanctuary that we had built and maintained and sunk all of our money into. And it was revealed that the sanctuary had to be coming from inside. and that the teaching of Guru was always the same teaching. It was the same thing. And the best advice my Guru had given me, it was, do what you're doing, but just add Krishna. Just add God. Add in every moment to whatever it is I'm doing this consciousness. And if I was to add this consciousness, if you were to add consciousness to everything, it doesn't mean we're not in the material realm. It doesn't mean we're not paying bills. It doesn't mean we're not having difficulties. It doesn't mean that any of the landscape needs to be one way or another, because it's all just landscape. It means that the language we're creating needs to fit our landscape. It needs to fit our internal matrix. It needs to fit our soul's desire. Hi, baby. Oh, we thought she went to sleep. I don't think she's asleep. If Guru comes in and has these teachings that are not only universal but also specific, totally unique but also ancient, those teachings will find their way, hopefully, into the landscape of what's happening material. It does not mean the material is not happening. It simply means that if we add Guru, if we add the crystal clear faith, Shraddha devotion, and the very beginning of surrender to that, then the quality will become divine. The quality of how we work, the quality of how we speak, the quality of how we make money. It's all possible to make divine, no matter who we are, no matter our religion, no matter how we were raised, no matter our trauma and pain, no matter our karma. The best advice I ever got about not fucking up my chance for success was to just add God. And most of the pain that I feel in this world, and I feel it all the time, and I'm seeing it in the collective, and so are you, is the absolute omittance, consciously or subconsciously, the forgetting of divinity. And it doesn't have anything to do with religion. It has to do with you and who you are as a divine person. I am speaking nothing of religion. I'm speaking nothing of politics. I'm speaking nothing of wealth. I'm only speaking about the unique part and parcel of divinity that you are. No labels. So, there's a lot happening in the world. There aren't so many people on the call live tonight, which is totally fine. If there are any questions or thoughts of what I can speak to, thank you, Raghavaji, for being here, then I will speak. But I just want to say that while the world seems to be burning and in rajas, like we talked about last night, and in pain and in suffering, when it seems to be going on, all that stuff, the other end of the spectrum is that there are thousands and thousands of devotees, of souls of people today dancing and singing and crying, calling out to their Srila Gurudev, to my Srila Gurudev. And that this idea of Guru is real, no matter your preferences or religion, because Guru is tattva or truth. Guru is wisdom, Guru is light. And Guru is heavy. And perhaps if we added in a little bit more accountability and heaviness in discerning, then we wouldn't be so sad and depressed and angry. Because tattva, guru, truth are always there. And that's what I learned this year about my Srila Gurudev and why he came into my life for just a year and a half in person, why it took 30 years to find him and a career, and why today, oh, look at that, the light changes when I do that. Whoa. Why today, when we may or may not be at the end of our efforts to do something very big that would seem material, not sure, that we know no stone went unturned and we did everything we could because we have greed for bhakti, we have greed for devotion, we have greed to house and be a container for sanctuary. And that's for our guru. That's for the mission. It's for the mission of love. It's for the mission of power. It's for the mission of not anything material, but eternal relationship and bliss. So on behalf of every soul on the planet, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for showing up and being brave. I want to thank you for taking the time to associate with this message and with myself. I want to thank every friend, every supporter, and I want to make a commitment, just like I committed to this Sacred Soul Rising, which is to continue to be effing awesome. Not in an obnoxious way, as I can be, or in a hard way, but in a heavy way. Like a lion, like my Srila Gurudev. Because the best advice I ever received was that everything I do is sacred and sovereign as long as I remember. So I vow to remember. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit me at jaishreeyoga.com and set up a free discovery call. I mentor with people mostly, and I've been doing it really well for 15 years. I get awesome results, and that's because I have awesome, amazing clients who want to up-level and who want some heavy. Thank you for joining us. All bliss and blessings. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Peace. Hare Krishna. Namaste. And lots of love.